types of coins that are minted. Circulation coins, the ones we use for money, bullion coins, used for investment, and collector coins, high-quality gold and silver collectibles that commemorate history. The first civilization to make coins were the Lydians in Asia Minor in 640 BC. The concept spread to ancient Greece, where coins often featured an owl, the symbol of the goddess Athena. Around 500 BC, the Chinese invented coins made of cheap metals, like copper, instead of gold and silver. Today's currency coins are still made of copper, nickel, and other inexpensive materials. The Mint manufactures collector coins using sterling silver as well as sterling scraps left over from making other coins. The silver goes into a casting furnace at 1150 degrees Celsius. The melted silver is then cast into a continuous bar about 4 centimeters high by 12 centimeters wide. A machine cuts the continuous bar into individual ingots, 80 centimeters long. Each bar goes into what's called the roughing mill. The mill's 2 rollers squash the ingot flat using 8 metric tons of force. It takes up to a dozen passes to flatten the ingot into a strip just 12 millimeters thick. A machine called the finishing mill thins the strip out even more, to what will be the final thickness of the coin. Next, the blanking machine stamps out blank coins. The silver that's left over, called sizzle, goes back into the casting furnace where it's melted down into fresh bars of silver. The next stop for the blanks is the rimming machine, whose spinning wheel presses a raised edge or rim. The blanks then go into a tub filled with water, cleaning solutions and steel beads. The beads act as an abrasive agent, smoothing and polishing the blanks. Workers then towel dry the blanks by hand. This ensures there'll be no water stains on the coins. Throughout the coin-making process, as the silver is worked, it becomes brittle. So brittle that it could easily break. So at several stages, the metal goes through an oven called an annealing furnace. The coin design comprises artwork or photography, or a combination of both. The artist uses a computer program to design a collage. Once the final design is approved by Mint officials, the process of engraving can begin. They take a plaster disc that's 27 centimeters in diameter. The computer guides the engraving machine to turn the one-dimensional computer design into a 3-dimensional version in rough detail. This creates a plaster model of the design in negative. An artist then enhances the detail by hand. Once that's done, they cast a negative plaster mold. From that, they cast a positive mold, this time in rubber. From the rubber, they cast a negative mold out of hard black epoxy. The epoxy model is mounted on a machine called a pantograph, which is essentially a reducing machine. It traces the model and cuts a version 1.5 times smaller in brass. Then an engraver takes the brass model and fine-tunes the design under a microscope. At this stage, the engraver also adds the lettering, noting the year, the denomination, and the country of issue. Then comes another reduction process. This brass model is reduced in size to create a matrix, a negative model made of high-grade steel that's the final size of the coin. Then the matrix is struck onto a block of steel, which creates a positive called a punch. They then strike the punch onto another steel block to create a negative, called a die. The coins are made one at a time in the coin press. There are 2 dies per coin, one for each side. positioned above and below the blank. They strike simultaneously, not once, but twice, to create a high-quality impression. There's no guarantee that the coin will become highly sought after, but at least you'll possess a beautifully crafted, handmade piece of history.